Have you ever felt like you're living a life that's not fully yours, like you're going through the motions, trapped by habits, fears, or circumstances that you never chose, but somehow accepted? Maybe you've tried to change, tried to start fresh, only to find yourself falling back into the same patterns, repeating the same mistakes, carrying the same frustrations. If that's familiar, let me tell you something powerful. The life you have today is not permanent. Who you are today is not fixed. Every moment, every decision, every action gives you the chance to rebuild yourself stronger, wiser, and more in control than ever before. Rebuilding is not about blaming the past or waiting for luck to strike. It's about taking charge, facing the truth about yourself, and deciding that you are willing to do the work it takes to become the person you were meant to be. It's about letting go of what holds you back, learning what you need to grow, and pushing forward even when the path is hard. Tonight, I want to show you not just how to change, but how to rebuild yourself from the inside out, and how that process can transform every part of your life. Self-awareness is the starting point of any meaningful transformation. Before you can rebuild yourself, you must first look inward with honesty and clarity. It's easy to blame circumstances, other people, or the randomness of life for where you are, but real change begins when you examine your own mind, habits, and choices. Self-awareness is not just knowing what you like or dislike. It is understanding your strengths, your weaknesses, your fears, your patterns, and the ways you respond to challenges. It requires the courage to confront aspects of yourself that are uncomfortable, even inconvenient. Many people avoid this work because it can be unsettling to face the truth, but without it, any attempt at rebuilding is like constructing a house on sand. The first step is reflection. Take time to observe your own behavior and ask yourself the hard questions. Where am I holding myself back? What habits are limiting my growth? What decisions have I made that led me away from where I want to be? Honest reflection can reveal patterns that are invisible in the rush of daily life. For instance, you may realize that procrastination, fear of failure, or avoidance of responsibility has quietly dictated many of your choices. Recognizing these patterns is not about self-judgment. It is about understanding reality so that you can navigate it with intention. Self-awareness allows you to see yourself clearly, not as who you want to be, not as others see you, but as you truly are. And that clarity is empowering because it gives you control over the parts of yourself you can change. Another critical aspect of self-awareness is emotional awareness. How do you react when things go wrong? How do you handle criticism, stress, or disappointment? Emotions are signals that tell you what matters to you and what is holding you back. By understanding your emotional triggers and responses, you gain insight into why you make certain choices and how to steer yourself in a better direction. Awareness of your emotional landscape also helps you interact with others more effectively because you begin to recognize how your actions affect those around you, and you can consciously choose behaviors that foster growth rather than resistance. Self-awareness is not a one-time exercise. It is an ongoing process. Life constantly changes, and so do you. New experiences, challenges, and opportunities will reveal more layers of who you are. Journaling, meditation, honest conversations with mentors or trusted friends, and even solitude can help deepen this awareness. Each moment of reflection, each honest observation, strengthens your ability to understand yourself and guides you toward the changes necessary for rebuilding. Without self-awareness, rebuilding yourself is like walking in the dark without a map. You may move, but you will stumble, repeat mistakes, and lose precious time. With self-awareness, you illuminate the path ahead, you understand the foundation you're standing on, and you can begin to build intentionally. It is the compass that ensures your efforts are not wasted, the lens through which you can see both obstacles and opportunities clearly. Self-awareness is not just a first step, it is the steady light that guides every step of your journey toward becoming a stronger, wiser, and more fulfilled version of yourself. Taking responsibility is one of the most powerful and liberating steps you can take in the journey of rebuilding yourself. Many people spend their lives looking outward for reasons why things haven't worked out, blaming circumstances, other people, or even luck. But the truth is that the power to change your life lies entirely in your own hands. When you take responsibility, you stop being a passive observer of your life and become an active architect of your future. It is not about blaming yourself for past mistakes or dwelling on regret. It is about acknowledging that every choice you make, every action you take, and every response you give has consequences, and that your life is shaped primarily by those decisions. This shift in mindset transforms how you approach challenges, setbacks, and opportunities. Taking responsibility means facing reality honestly. It means recognizing that no one else is going to solve your problems for you. If you are unhappy in your career, in your relationships, or in your personal growth, the first step is to stop waiting for the world to change and start asking yourself what you can do differently. It requires courage because it forces you to confront uncomfortable truths about your past decisions, habits, and behaviors. Perhaps you've procrastinated on important goals, avoided difficult conversations, or allowed fear to dictate your actions. Accepting responsibility is the act of saying, I own my life and I have the power to steer it in a new direction. Once you embrace this mindset, obstacles no longer feel like insurmountable barriers. They become challenges to navigate with creativity, effort, and focus. Responsibility also extends to your responses to failure. Life will inevitably present moments when things do not go as planned. How you handle those moments defines whether you rebuild stronger or fall back into old patterns. When you take responsibility, you do not blame others or external conditions for failure. You ask yourself what lessons can be learned and what actions can be taken to move forward. This approach fosters resilience, adaptability, and confidence, because you understand that the outcome of your life depends less on luck or circumstance and more on consistent effort, thoughtful choices, and disciplined action. Furthermore, taking responsibility empowers you to reclaim control over your mindset. Instead of feeling like a victim of circumstances, you recognize that your attitude, effort, and focus are within your control. You may not control every event in your life, but you always control how you respond to it. This perspective eliminates excuses and fosters a proactive mindset. When you stop blaming others and start taking responsibility, you create momentum toward rebuilding yourself because every decision becomes intentional, every action becomes meaningful, and every challenge becomes an opportunity to grow. Ultimately, responsibility is the bridge between self-awareness and transformation. Understanding yourself lays the foundation, but taking responsibility is the engine that drives change. It requires honesty, courage, and commitment, but it is profoundly empowering. It transforms the way you view life, shifting you from being at the mercy of circumstances to being in control of your destiny. Responsibility is not a burden. It is a tool that, when wielded with clarity and determination, allows you to rebuild yourself stronger, wiser, and more capable than ever before. Embracing change and letting go is at the heart of rebuilding yourself because transformation cannot occur without shedding what no longer serves you. Life has a way of clinging to the familiar, even when the familiar is holding you back. Habits, routines, beliefs, and relationships can all become anchors that keep you stuck in patterns that limit your growth. To rebuild yourself, you must develop the courage to release these anchors and step into the unknown. Change is often uncomfortable because it challenges your sense of security, but discomfort is the sign that you are moving in the right direction. Without the willingness to let go of the old, you cannot make space for the new to take root. And every attempt to rebuild while holding on to what weighs you down will be incomplete and unsatisfying. Letting go requires honesty and discernment. You must look at your life and identify the things, habits, and even people that drain your energy, distract you from your purpose, or limit your potential. This might be a toxic friendship, a job that offers no growth, a mindset rooted in fear, or a habit that undermines your health or focus. Identifying what needs to be released is not easy because attachments, whether physical, emotional, or mental, create a sense of comfort and identity. Yet, clinging to these attachments often keeps you from evolving into the person you are capable of becoming. Releasing them is not an act of loss, but an act of creation, a conscious decision to make room for opportunities, habits, and people that align with the life you want to build. Embracing change also means accepting that the journey of rebuilding will be unpredictable. You may have a vision of who you want to become, but the path will likely require adjustments, detours, and new strategies. Flexibility is crucial because rigid adherence to old ways or fear of the unknown will sabotage progress. Each change, no matter how small, is a step toward growth, and every challenge you encounter is an opportunity to strengthen your resilience and adaptability, the willingness to pivot, to experiment, and to let go of control over outcomes allows you to respond to life with creativity and courage rather than resistance. Emotionally, letting go is about releasing attachment to past mistakes, regrets, or perceived failures. Carrying guilt, resentment, or shame acts as invisible chains, weighing you down and limiting your ability to move forward. By confronting these emotions, processing them, and choosing to release them, you free yourself to focus on what can be built today. Similarly, letting go of the need for approval or validation from others empowers you to act in alignment with your values, rather than conforming to expectations that no longer serve your growth. Ultimately, embracing change and letting go is a declaration of faith in your own potential. It is the understanding that who you are today does not define who you can become tomorrow. Every act of release, every willingness to step into uncertainty, is a step toward a stronger, wiser, and more capable self. It is the bridge between the life you have and the life you are building, and it is the single most vital skill in the art of self-reinvention. Continuous learning and growth are the lifeblood of rebuilding yourself, because true transformation requires more than just intention. It requires action that expands your mind, skills, and perspective. Too often, people settle into comfort, believing they have reached a plateau or that their current knowledge and abilities are sufficient. But life does not stand still, and neither do opportunities. To rebuild yourself, you must adopt a mindset of constant improvement, a commitment to learning from every experience, and a willingness to stretch beyond your current limits. Growth is not accidental, it is deliberate, and it demands curiosity, effort, and persistence. Learning is not confined to formal education. It happens through books, mentors, observation, failure, reflection, and even through the challenges that push you to adapt. Every situation, no matter how difficult, holds a lesson if you are willing to extract it. When you face setbacks, instead of retreating in frustration or blaming circumstances, examine what went wrong, why it happened, and what it teaches you about yourself. The most successful individuals are not those who avoid failure, but those who approach each failure as a lesson, using it to adjust their strategy and move forward with greater knowledge and insight. Continuous learning turns mistakes into stepping stones, and it transforms obstacles into opportunities for development. Growth also requires humility. You must accept that you do not have all the answers and that there is always room to improve. Pride and ego are barriers to learning because they make you resistant to feedback and new ideas. By embracing humility, you open yourself to perspectives that challenge your assumptions, to skills that expand your capabilities, and to experiences that deepen your understanding of the world and yourself. Every person you meet, every book you read, and every challenge you face becomes a teacher, guiding you toward a more refined, resilient, and capable version of yourself. Developing a habit of continuous learning requires consistency and discipline. It is not enough to read occasionally or reflect sporadically. Growth demands intentional daily effort. Small, consistent actions, reading, practicing skills, journaling insights, seeking mentorship, reflecting on experiences compound over time, producing results that often surpass expectations. Rebuilding yourself is not a sprint. It is a marathon of learning, unlearning, and relearning. The willingness to invest in yourself consistently is what separates temporary change from lasting transformation. Furthermore, continuous learning fuels confidence and adaptability. The more you learn, the more tools you have to navigate challenges, make decisions, and seize opportunities. You become more flexible in the face of change because knowledge equips you with options and strategies that the unprepared cannot see. Growth expands your horizons, allowing you to dream bigger, act bolder, and achieve more than you previously imagined. It is not only about acquiring skills, it is about evolving your mindset, reshaping your beliefs, and developing the resilience and creativity needed to rebuild yourself effectively. Ultimately, continuous learning and growth are commitments to your future self. They are the investments that pay dividends in capability, perspective, and opportunity. To rebuild yourself is to embrace life as an endless classroom, to pursue knowledge relentlessly, and to let every experience, success, and failure serve as fuel for the next stage of your transformation. Setting clear goals and developing a vision for your life is one of the most critical steps in the process of rebuilding yourself. Because without direction, energy and effort are scattered, and progress becomes slow or aimless. To rebuild effectively, you must first define what you want to create and who you want to become. A vision acts like a lighthouse, guiding your decisions, your actions, and your mindset, especially when obstacles arise or when the path forward feels uncertain. Without a vision, it is easy to drift, to respond passively to life circumstances, and to find yourself reacting instead of creating. A clear vision gives you purpose, clarity, and motivation, turning abstract desires into a concrete destination toward which every step can be aligned. Goals are the bridge between your present self and your envisioned future. They transform your vision into actionable steps. Goals allow you to break down the monumental task of rebuilding into manageable, measurable actions. When setting goals, it is essential to be both ambitious and realistic, aiming high while ensuring that the steps required are achievable and specific. Vague intentions like "I want to be better" or "I want to succeed" lack the structure necessary to drive change. Specific goals such as "I will improve my communication skills by attending a course and practicing daily for 3 months," or "I will save a fixed percentage of my income each month to build financial security," provide clarity, measurable progress, and accountability. Goals turn desire into action and dreams into tangible outcomes. Having a vision also aligns your mindset with growth. When you see the bigger picture of who you want to become, you begin to recognize which habits, relationships, and choices support your vision and which ones hinder it. A clear vision allows you to evaluate opportunities and challenges through the lens of your ultimate objectives. It acts as a filter for your decisions, guiding you toward actions that propel you forward and away from distractions that drain your time and energy. In this way, your vision is not just aspirational, it becomes practical, shaping how you live day to day. Equally important is flexibility. While your vision and goals provide direction, life is unpredictable, and rigid attachment to a single plan can lead to frustration. Goals should be adaptable, allowing you to adjust based on new information, opportunities, or experiences. This balance between clarity and flexibility enables consistent progress without becoming paralyzed by setbacks or obstacles. Revisiting and refining your goals periodically ensures they remain aligned with your evolving vision and circumstances, maintaining momentum in your rebuilding journey. Finally, a clear vision and well-defined goals generate motivation and accountability. They provide a sense of purpose that sustains effort during challenging times. When setbacks occur, a strong vision reminds you why you started, and specific goals allow you to measure small wins that build confidence and resilience. Setting goals is not merely an exercise in planning. It is a declaration to yourself that you are intentional about your life, that you refuse to drift passively, and that you are committed to the consistent work required to rebuild into the person you aspire to become. Persistence through challenges is the defining quality that separates those who rebuild themselves successfully from those who falter and give up. Rebuilding is not a linear journey. It is filled with obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. Every step forward may be met with resistance, whether from external circumstances, other people, or your own internal fears and limitations. Challenges are inevitable, and the difference between temporary failure and lasting transformation lies in your ability to persist. Persistence is not simply continuing without thought. It is the combination of resilience, adaptability, and unwavering commitment to your goals and vision, even when the path is difficult or progress seems invisible. Challenges test your determination and reveal the depth of your character. When things do not go as planned, When obstacles appear larger than your resources or abilities, it is persistence that keeps you moving. Many people give up too soon because they expect immediate results or underestimate the effort required to change their lives. Rebuilding yourself demands patience and a mindset that views setbacks not as failures but as essential lessons and stepping stones. Each challenge you face is an opportunity to learn, to strengthen your skills, to clarify your vision, and to reinforce your commitment to becoming the person you aspire to be. Persistence transforms obstacles into growth opportunities, and repeated effort compounds into meaningful progress over time. Persistence also requires emotional strength. The process of rebuilding is often accompanied by frustration, self-doubt, and even fear. You may question your abilities, feel discouraged by slow progress, or encounter criticism from others who do not understand your journey. Emotional resilience allows you to navigate these moments without surrendering to despair or distraction. By acknowledging your feelings without letting them control your actions, you maintain momentum, focus, and clarity. Persistence is fueled not just by determination, but by the ability to manage your emotions and keep moving forward with a clear purpose. Consistency is a key component of persistence. Small, repeated actions over time create transformation that sudden bursts of effort cannot achieve. Rebuilding yourself is rarely about dramatic, instantaneous change. It is about showing up day after day, doing the work even when motivation wanes, and trusting that incremental progress leads to significant results. Each step, no matter how small, reinforces your commitment, builds discipline, and strengthens your confidence in your ability to overcome challenges. Persistence is the habit of action aligned with vision, sustained over time, regardless of difficulties or delays. Finally, persistence, through challenges, instills self-reliance and empowerment. When you persist, you recognize that your life's outcomes are the result of your effort, choices, and resilience. You gain confidence in your ability to navigate uncertainty, adapt to new circumstances, and overcome adversity. Every challenge you face and persist through adds to your experience, wisdom, and strength, making future obstacles easier to confront. Rebuilding yourself is not merely about achieving goals. It is about cultivating the inner fortitude to face life with courage, to rise repeatedly after every setback, and to become a person capable of continuous growth, no matter what challenges arise. As we come to the end of this journey together, remember this. Rebuilding yourself is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong commitment. It begins with awareness, continues with responsibility, embraces change, grows through learning, is guided by vision, and is strengthened by persistence. Each step you take, no matter how small, moves you closer to the person you are capable of becoming. Life will challenge you, push you, and test you, but every challenge is an opportunity to rise, to improve, and to rebuild yourself stronger than before. So take control of your life, release what no longer serves you, learn relentlessly, set clear goals, and follow them with determination. Face obstacles with courage and persist even when the road is tough. The power to transform your life lies within you, and the moment to start is now. I wish each of you the courage to begin, the wisdom to stay the course, and the persistence to see your transformation through. Good luck on your journey to becoming the best version of yourself, and thank you for allowing me to share this moment with you today.